Good morning, friends, and welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Kat, and if you're new here, we've been baking our way through Some of My Best Friends Are Cookies by Emelia Jackson. Today is wet and cold and miserable, so I thought it was the perfect day to make the next recipe in our book, which is apple pie cookies. This recipe is pretty unusual, I think. It's got actual little tiny chunks of diced up apple in it, so I'm quite excited to try these. Let's get started. First up, we're combining our dry ingredients and setting those aside. And we need 250 grams of plain flour, a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of bicarb, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of sea salt flakes, and we're just going to whisk these together. And set that aside. Then we need 150 grams of butter, - 130 grams of brown sugar, and 120 grams of caster sugar. We also need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 egg. So we need to cream our butter sugar mixture together, and while that is going, I am going to chop these apples up into 2mm dice. So our butter and sugar mixture is combined, and we're going to add our dry ingredients. And we mix this in before we add our apple. So we've got our little dice, and we add those in. And mix those in. So we're doing balls of dough that are about 50 grams. So I am using my big cookie scoop. And I do need to roll these into balls. It says we're going to get 18. This dough is very sticky, and I am just pressing it down lightly because we need to add a crumble topping onto it, and I want to have enough surface area for that to actually stick and not just fall off. I have only got 14, but that could be my apples were a little bit smaller, or my dough balls are slightly larger. I did weigh the first one, and the first one was exactly 50. But, you know, the dough sticks to the scoop, and subsequent ones are probably each slightly larger. It does say these need plenty of room for spreading, so I am just going to do 6 on a tray. Actually, I will do 7. So for the crumble topping, we need 60 grams of butter. That's 55. We need 100 grams of plain flour and 50 grams of caster sugar. And we're just going to rub this together. And it says to put a tablespoon of crumble mixture on each one. That seems like quite a lot. But so I've got my oven preheated to 175, and these need to bake for 17 to 18 minutes. So I'm just putting 100 grams of icing sugar into this bowl for when we make the glaze. So these are absolutely huge. So we were to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk or cream to the 100 grams of icing sugar. And it said you want the consistency of thickened cream. which I think is about that. So that was 1.5 tablespoons for me. I still have that much milk left in my tablespoon measure. And it doesn't say anything about cooling them before we add this glaze. So we're just going to go with it. And I probably should have just stuck with the 6 and done the 2 separately because they have spread a lot. These are absolutely enormous. So it says to let these cool for 1 to 2 hours to let the glaze set. It does also say, or dive in now, there's no rules. But I think they are still a little bit firm. Sorry, I mean a little bit soft. I would like them to firm up a little bit more. I think I will just gently separate the ones that are touching, just so that they won't completely break when once they're cool. But as you can see, they did spread a lot. So I am going to leave those to cool for a bit. I'm going to enjoy my cup of tea that I just made myself, and I will see you back here for a taste test. So these have cooled. They do look pretty good, but they are huge. They're very soft in the middle, nice and crunchy on the outside. You can taste the apple. They kind of taste a little bit like an apple crumble muffin. Well, I like them. They are very soft. I don't think they will hold up in a lunchbox. But they're good. I think probably these ones will just get eaten at home. I think the process of having them in a container in a school bag is just going to absolutely destroy them, and you'll end up with a container full of crumbs. But they do taste a lot like an apple cinnamon muffin. I think they're pretty good. Thanks for being here today as we made these apple pie biscuits. If you would like, I will pop another video here that you can enjoy between now and my next upload. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.